Good morning, everybody. Dave Schmidt along with Matt Nestor and producer Tom Warner. May 2nd, 2015. It's the State Line Sports Hour. And, Matt, you know, this time of year, it's one of the signing periods. A lot of kids are signing, committing in colleges.
Yeah.
And fresh off of doing a signing this week is South Beloit's Brett Ott, and he is signed to go to Rockford University. Hey, Brett, good to have you on today, and congratulations for signing with the Regions.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
You know, when you look at your career at South Beloit, you've gone through a couple of coaches, a couple of things, but I've seen your 4 or 5 of your games this year, talked to you a couple times after the games and things like that. You guys really had a nice ball club this year. I mean, it was a pretty team effort for the Sobos.
Yeah, and we can thank Matt Stuckey for that. He came in this year after last year's coach resigned, and he completely turned around the way we ran practice, the way we competed in games, completely changed our attitude, and he made us better basketball players, and I think it showed because we made it to a regional final.
You know, that's great to have your senior year where you can go out, successful. Do you ever look back and say, boy, if we just could have got him a year or two earlier, maybe we could have really done something special?
Yeah, I thought about that a little bit because the first half of the year, I think it just kind of goes without saying, if you get a new coach, you kind of have to adjust to a new system. And that happened. We got off to a really slow start. I think we started off 1-4 or something like that. And even though we made it to a regional final, we still didn't cross the 500 mark. We finished 14-16. But I'd like to think if we did have him last year, then, I mean, this year we would have been a team that maybe nobody wanted to play.
You know, you got some good teammates, and I always enjoy watching Sebastian play. You know, they always say redheads are kind of fiery. Every time I see him play, you're the calm guy out there, and he kind of gets fired up a little bit. But that's a pretty good mixture for you, wasn't it, the last couple of years?
Yeah, we have been playing since we were really little. We were at the Boys and Girls Club when we started playing, and we've just kind of grown together as players, and he was really a catalyst for us this year. Yeah. It seems like the media likes to talk about the leading scorer and everything, but he led us in every other category, assists, rebounds, steals, so we have to give him a lot of credit for that.
You know, what was the biggest thing you tried to work on this year as you were going into your senior year and going through the season? Because obviously you were going to be the focus of a lot of game plans, things like that, so what was the one thing you really tried to work on and improve?
I really wanted to improve the way I could score. Last year, I was not a very great shooter. Most of my points were off drives, and even then, if I couldn't get to the hole, then I was scoring in single digits or maybe not at all. And this year, I shot the ball better, and I worked on getting quicker. So then teams had to come out and guard me on the perimeter, and if they did, I could try to beat them off the dribble or hit the shot if I was feeling hot.
You know, this year you guys, of course, are in the NUIC. In a couple of years, the Sobos are going to be leaving for the Northeastern Athletic Conference. Since you're graduating and won't be around, what are your thoughts on that change for South Beloit?
It won't affect me very much, but I'm kind of partial to the NUIC just because I've been in there for 4 years. I think it's a great conference, but I'm kind of excited to see what they can do in the NAC, is it?
Yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do in there. I'm sure they'll develop some new rivalries, probably with Christian Life even, who beat us in the regional final. I think that'll be a good matchup. Like I said, I like the NUIC, but I'm excited to see what will happen in the next couple of years.
You know, you obviously signed with Rockford University. What was it about the program there that kind of drew you to that, and what are you looking forward to when you get there?
Well, the school it's a beautiful campus down there. Coach Weber is a real genuine guy. He even before he was named the head coach or even the interim coach when Rebson was still the head coach, Coach Weber was doing most of the recruiting, so I wasn't too concerned about the coaching change right there. And I've been going down to open gyms, playing with some of the guys, and they have some good players down there. They have good attitudes and stuff like that, so I'm excited to go down and play with those guys.
Now, I know you had some other schools recruiting you, some NAIA and some other division schools. Can you tell us why you decided to stay home? Did you want everybody to come see you and it was just a good fit, or didn't matter where Rockford University was at, you were going to go there anyway?
Well, the I had my list narrowed down to 4 schools, obviously Rockford being one of them, and then the other ones were Illinois Tech in Chicago, Beloit College, and Cornell College in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And I visited all the schools. I liked every campus I went to, every school, all the coaches. They were real great guys. And even though I liked all the other schools, we'll just say it's hard to say no to a full tuition scholarship because of the way college costs are rising.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a pretty deciding factor in there. And again, I liked all 4 schools.
Are you going to see any change in your role when you get to Rockford? Obviously for South Beloit, you were a scorer and needed to do a lot of that. Any change in what they're wanting you to do when you come in, or do they want you to come in and score the ball?
He doesn't want me to be a scorer. Obviously, I won't be a leading scorer as a freshman or anything like that. They actually do have a great all-conference player returning in my position, and I'm excited to learn from him as a freshman even. And but he does want me to bring my shooting and my driving, and to be able to work on those skills and get better at them. And I'm excited to see what I can do down there.
I was doing the story on you this week when I found out that you'd signed with Rockford University, and I asked Coach Matt Stuckey and I asked Coach Weber, can you give me a statement on Brett? And they all said you're a better kid than you are a basketball player, and that you're a good student, too. That's pretty nice. That's a pretty good mixture, isn't it, Brett?
Yeah, I'm glad they said that about me. I try to keep my grades pretty high, and because I'm not going to be an NBA player, so academics are going to have to come first.
So what do you plan on majoring in?
At Rockford, I'm going to major in math, and then after I graduate, I'm going to go to engineering school for 2 years.
You are an engineer, Brett? That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Hey, we weren't going to mention it too much. I'm sure you hear all the time who your dad is and everything. But how much has he had an influence on your basketball life, especially with this recruiting process, since he's had a few guys like Fred Van Fleet and Latwan Porter and those guys? How has he helped you out with this process? Because sometimes a parent gets involved with this, and it's pretty tough because they've never been in a situation like this. Your dad has been through all this stuff.
Yeah, my dad knew how it all worked. When we went on college visits, he would always have various questions for the coaches and stuff like that. And he's been supportive all along the way. He hasn't pushed me in one direction or another. He never even pushed me to play basketball. The good thing, though, is, he does have access to a gym whenever he wants. He never forced me to go down there, though. If I asked him to go down to the gym, 9 times out of 10 he'll say yes, and he'll put me through some drills and stuff. But he never said, come on, you're going to the gym whether you want to or not. So I'm really thankful to have that.
And then you did have the opportunity recently to play against him, in that in the All-Star game. He was coaching the other team. How much was that kind of fun, being on the opposite side, maybe trying to get a chance to beat him?
Yeah, me and my brother always kind of wanted to play against him anyway.
Uh-huh.
And I guess he wasn't technically coaching in this case, but
sure,
I'd have to settle for it.
When you look at the connection with Auburn, did you ever get to hang out with those guys? I know with the AAU and all that type of stuff. Did you make any connections? Because that's a pretty good basketball program they have over there at Auburn right now.
Yeah, I do know most of those guys. Actually, Auburn's 5 starters were the exact 5 starters we had on my AAU team, so I knew those guys really well.
How much did the AAU side help? I know for a lot of kids these days, that's really where they get the chance to kind of develop and grow their game. How much did being on especially a good level AAU program like that help you in your development?
Well, that was the entire goal, actually. I played 4 years with those guys, and the goal going in was that I'm going to be playing against more talented, faster players, and even in practice, I was just going to have to adjust to that and get better, and I think that helped me out in the long run.
When you look back on your career at South Beloit, Brett, what's the thing that's going to stand out in your mind as when you're talking to your grandkids someday? What are you going to remember the most?
That would be that last game we played in, that regional championship. It obviously didn't end the way we wanted. It was a 3-point loss, but that was just an exciting atmosphere. The gym was packed. I think there were a few seats open on the Christian Life side, but our side was completely sold out. Maybe even oversold. It looked like they were shoulder to shoulder. But and it was a great game too. I think that might have been our best game of the year and Christian Life's best game of the year. It was not sloppy at all, and it was nobody really had a clear advantage the entire time. I think the biggest lead at any point was 6 points, and we both had that at one point.
And that was played at Hebron, right? And so got that magic touch to it, that Hoosier feel, because they won that big championship. That made it fun too, didn't it?
Oh, I loved it. It was that entire gym was dedicated to that game. Even on the scoreboard on either side, they have the rosters for Hebron and for Quincy from that championship game. They have the big map with all the cities of the teams who made it down. So that was pretty cool.
Well, Brett, thanks for taking time out today. Good luck. We'll keep an eye on you because you're going to be here all the time. We'll have to check a game out, and congratulations and good luck as you get ready to graduate.
All right, thank you.
We've been talking to South Beloit's Brett Ott. I think he's going to be a coach someday. We had more time.
Oh, yeah.
I think he understands the game real well.
Yeah.
And he does. It's kind of interesting. His dad said, "Oh, you got to have to play basketball."
Yeah, no, and that's probably why he loves the game as much as he does, because his dad's there to help, but he's not there to push, because too many parents do push, and in the long run, those kids don't like the game.
Really? Parents do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to take a time out. We'll be back with Lutheran's Katie Dolan. We'll talk some girls volleyball in just a moment. You're listening to the State Line Sports Hour right here on the news station of your choice, News Talk 1440. WROK.